Our plan as a party is to focus on 4 key pillars of economic development. First one's red tape and reducing regulations for business. Secondly is getting energy costs under control. Third is building infrastructure, and Bob talked a bit about this, but we need to build that infrastructure in order to get products to market as quickly as possible. And lastly, and this pertains to Lambton College, and Lambton will play a huge role in this, but we need to fix the skills mismatch. So we need to graduate people for jobs that exist today and tomorrow. And I just want to go through all 4 pillars quickly. On the red tape front, when you talk to whether it's small, medium, or large size businesses, the number one issue, apart from energy, that they're talking about is government and the intrusion of government and the over-regulation of the business community. We have 380,000 regulations on the books in Ontario. By far, the most regulations on the books of any government in Canada. We need to deal with red tape. It's costing the economy about $13 billion a year. That was a Conference Board of Canada who highlighted that number, $13 billion of loss of productivity. That would be the first pillar of a PC government with plans to restore prosperity to the province. Secondly, energy costs. Bob and I have covered this. I think already we all know the situation we're in Ontario. We've spent billions and billions of dollars more for renewable energy than we should have been paying, quite frankly. The government went on this subsidy bandwagon where they paid way above market rates for energy that, quite frankly, Ontario doesn't need. We're overproducing now 30% more energy than the province needs. And a lot of that is due to the fact that this government has driven out the manufacturing sector from the province and those 350,000 lost jobs. 2 solutions that we're putting on the table now, hopefully the government will consider. We want the government to stop the further sell-off of Hydro One. The government's own plan says they want to sell off 60% of Hydro One. We think that that's going to further increase the cost to businesses, to individuals, to families and seniors in the province. Secondly, we need to stop signing contracts for energy that we don't need. In my riding of Lambton-Kent-Middlesex, there's 2 projects that are set to be built, the Otter Creek project and the North Kent Wind project. We're building more and more, or the government's building more and more wind projects across the province, and this is only going to further drive up the cost of electricity. The government needs to stop building these projects and stop building renewable projects for energy that we just don't need in the province. Thirdly, infrastructure. We know even in the GTA and other parts of the province that it's costing businesses billions and billions of dollars a year because it's taking too long to get products to market. Government has to focus on building infrastructure, whether it's roads and bridges in this part of the province, if it's major highways in the Niagara region. Government has to get on to building those projects. It's interesting, Bob can vouch for this, but we see the government re-announcing projects, the same projects 5 times, and they're not even getting a shovel in the ground. And probably the greatest example is the Ring of Fire in Northern Ontario. They've made 3 announcements that they're going to build a road to the Ring of Fire, but yet there's no progress being made. And the benefit of the Ring of Fire and other industries to the province and to the government would be substantial. And we need to move forward and get off our behinds and get these projects built. So we're going to focus on getting those infrastructure projects started as quickly as possible. Lastly, and I think this is important, especially in Sarnia, is the skills mismatch and fixing our education system in the province. Our leader, Patrick Brown, uses this statistic that last year in the province of Ontario, we graduated 9,000 students for 5,000 teaching positions. It makes no sense that we continue to graduate students for jobs that don't exist. And we need, as a government, to focus on working with our college system, working with our university system, working with industry to ensure that we have that skills match. So when these kids graduate, they are able to be hired, and they're filling a hole that currently exists in that employment situation. So these are the 4 areas that we're working on. Every day at Queen's Park, we continue to ask questions based around these 4 pillars of economic development. I think as a party, it's important for us to continue to focus on these, because when you talk to everyday people in the province, this is what they're concerned about. Like Bob mentioned, the unaffordability of life and of doing business in the province is just getting beyond everyone's control, and we need to fix that. So I'll just close by inviting everyone to visit our website. We've launched our caucus, and our party have launched a website called www.forontario.ca. It's open to the public for everyone to send their suggestions around these 4 pillars or around other areas to help restore prosperity to the province of Ontario.